Alrighty, welcome everybody back to your weekly dose of fullback content here on the Miller Football channel. That's right, it is Fullback Friday once again. And today we're going to be celebrating by taking a look at one of the league's finest fullbacks, doing a little bit of a film breakdown on Alec Ingold of the Miami Dolphins, someone that I have talked about before on this channel. He is no stranger to me giving him his credit because Alec Ingold is a tremendous football player. He is one of the most underrated players in the league at any position, even though his teammates go out of their way to credit him. You know, if you remember last year, Tyreek Hill was talking about he should be thrown in MVP conversations, and while Tyreek may have been jesting just a tad, I do believe that he is one of the more valuable players in the league. And Miami's game against the Patriots was a very blatant example of that. They were absolutely dominating out of 21 personnel, and just when Ingold was on the field in general, because obviously they line him up all over the place. It's not just 21 personnel when he's on the field. But I digress. He was incredible. We're going to take a look at the game. I hope you're all excited. If you are, please leave a like down below, as it shows me that you're enjoying this content. And who doesn't love weekly fullback videos? I mean, this is the only place on YouTube you're getting that, so you might as well enjoy it. And also please make sure to leave a comment down below telling me what you think about Alec Ingold's game this week. Do you think he killed it? Are you a liar? If you think he didn't kill it, you're probably a liar. What other type of fullback videos would you like to see on Fullback Friday? Because remember, this series isn't just film breakdowns. It's supposed to be a variety series talking about football's finest position once a week, every single Friday. But anyways, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the film and talk about Alec Ingold's performance against the New England Patriots. Alright, so like I said in the intro of this video, Dolphins cooked in 21 personnel, and you can see here we are very clearly in 21 personnel. Single tight end, two backs, Ingold being the main back we're looking at here, the fullback. Obviously, it's Fullback Friday. And this is the first play from scrimmage for Miami. It's not like a crazy play or anything, but Ingold does exactly what he needs to. So you're going to see this ball is snapped. Ingold is one-on-one with Jelani Tavai here. If he can take care of him, then Devon Achane can cut up through. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. He's going to do exactly that. Gets low. Because he gets low, he's going to block this off, gives Achane the lane that he needs. You see Ingold going to get his shoulder into the chest of Tavai. Now, unfortunately, the tight end, who I don't know this guy's name, I'm going to be honest. It's Jay Hill. I know that much. In the Ingold film I have watched this year, anytime that Hill is on the same side of the field as Ingold, he tends to not do so great. So I don't know if I'm just only catching his lowest moments, but you know, in this situation, he's trying to reach and it's not working, and Achane's going to end up getting brought down. Now you're going to see Tavai, he does get a hand in there. Whatever, Ingold did his job. His job was just to wall him off in this area, and if Achane was able to actually get upfield like he was supposed to, then Tavai would be totally out of the play. But because of some other stuff that's out of Ingold's control, Achane ends up getting tackled. Still like a 5-yard run on the first play of the game, which, you know, doesn't hurt, right? Starting out with a net positive on the first play is always great. So again, gets low, walls him off, and allows Achane to pick up those 5 yards. I don't want to shit too hard on this tight end here, so let's double check this block. So you see we start with the double team here with Alec Jackson, and then he tries to get up and take care of the linebacker. The linebacker's just too quick. So, you know, I obviously don't know the assignments here. I'm not in the film room with Miami cooking these up, but I'm going to assume the way he fired out, his job was to double team here, then get to the second level and take care of this linebacker. And he just, linebacker's a little too quick. Just a good play by the linebacker. I guess I can't shit on the tight end too much for that. But there are some plays where he isn't great. But either way, we're here to talk about Ingold. And Ingold does his job here. Yeah, 5-yard gain on the first play of the game. That is a net positive. That is a good thing. Just all in all, good work. All right, second play here. Still in the first quarter. We've got Ingold lined up off the screen. He's going to end up motioning in here in just a moment, so we'll go ahead and let him do that. You see he motions in. And the way this play is going to be set up, you've got Tyreek Hill who's going to chip Keon White here. We've got a guy pulling. He's going to actually seal him off. Got a double team here. So then that means Ingold is on cleanup duty, right? This is just cleanup duty. His job is to lead block for Mostert through the hole that's being built up. And if anyone comes in this area, right? anyone that comes down here, if this linebacker moves down, if the safety comes down, if a corner comes over, whoever's there, Ingold just needs to be the guy to say, nope, not happening. VIP coming through, right? This is, I said cleanup crew. This is more like bodyguard crew, I guess you could say. Either one works. Either analogy works. Depends on what you want to look at. Is Ingold a janitor or is he a bodyguard, right? But either way, you see right away there, head goes to the right. Is there anything over here? Nope. All right, we're going back to the left. Oh, there's a linebacker there. Cool, I get to hit a linebacker this play. And we know Alec Ingold loves hitting linebackers. Right, so he sees McMillan stepping up here and trying to step up and get into the hole. So Ingold knows he needs to take care of him. He does a great job. Just that first contact, really just ripping into him. Fires off low, so he's got the leverage here. Just an awesome job by Ingold there. And then on top of that, unintentionally, right? I'm not going to glaze too hard and say, wow, Ingold knew how to put himself in this position. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this was a little unintentional, but it works out. You've got 89 over here, who I was just shitting on. He's going to see that Ingold's right here, and he's going to be like, oh, cool, support. And he's going to push this defensive lineman into Ingold. And that's going to create Ingold able to wall off Mostert here, effectively blocking two people. Again, only one of them, particularly by design. And Mostert's going to be able to get upfield and break this for like a 10-yard run. But, you know, I've talked about a lot. Big thing with lead blocking, you got to wall off, right? You got to get your back to the back. And Ingold does a great job of that here. And because of that opens, I mean, that doesn't just open a hole. That part's the goddamn Red Sea. Look at all that green. That's a hell of a lot of green set up from a fullback and a pulling guard. Just beautiful stuff. I love the way Miami's run game is designed. You know, Mike McDaniel, sure, he has his shortcomings as a coach. I won't deny that. But you can't deny that the man knows how to scheme up a good run game. And when you see stuff like that, it gets me all giddy inside. I love it. All right, we got some more cleanup crew out of 21 personnel this time. You know, 2 backs in the backfield, 1 tight end. This one is actually out of 21 personnel. We'll go ahead. Let Tyler Huntley snap this ball, which is so funny. I can't get over the fact that Tyler Huntley's starting in Miami. That's crazy. But anyways, Ingold is fully on cleanup crew, right? Mostert is following Ingold, who's trying to clear a path. Right away, Ingold sees that Jelani Tavai has his eyes in the backfield. So Ingold's going to say, all right, I'll chip here, I'll break off this chip, and then take care of whatever ends up being downfield, which is that safety or corner, whoever number 21 is in New England. I just realized this is the 3rd video this season that I've made that involves New England's defense. Because I made a video about Keon White. I'm talking about New England's defense in this video. And then when I made my Breece Hall video, they were playing the Patriots, at least for part of it. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I promise I have no vendettas against the Patriots defense. I have no ill will. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say, right? But anyways, speaking of things crumbling, his defense is about to crumble and let up a solid little run. So you see, again, Ingold with the chip here, that's going to get the tight end here back in favorable leverage with Tavai. And then Ingold's going to be able to get downfield. And you see the DB here tries to stiff arm him almost. He's like, get out of here. I'm not wasting my time with a fullback. What is this, 1935? Get out of here. I don't care about you. Ingold's looking at this like, oh, this dude's got a hand in my throat. It's an average Sunday. This is nothing new. So you see Ingold does a good job. He gets the hands out. He's going to have a hand in the chest of the DB. And because of that, when Mostert comes by, you see Ingold isn't able to wall off because of the momentum of the DB. But because he has that hand in the chest, the DB can't get past Ingold. Ingold effectively has him walled off, not with his body, but with his arm. And this isn't illegal. It's not like he's trying to clothesline him. It's just the way the leverage played out here. And then as soon as the back's by him, you see Ingold lets go. The guy does a little rip move and gets away. Nothing illegal here. Just really solid blocking from our boy Alec Ingold on like a 7-ish yard run. All right, we'll keep this one short. But we've got Ingold who's going to come across here in motion. You can't see him on screen yet. And he's going to set an important block that a lot of the heavy lifting is done by momentum and positioning. So right here, Mostert is going to end up going between Ingold and this matchup here, right? So Ingold, because 33 is firing inside, is going to utilize that, basically catch him and then carry that momentum. Right, that's the best way I can describe it. He's going to catch the defender and carry his momentum to the inside. So you see right here, there's a lane open. Granted, this blocking isn't great, but it's Tyreek Hill, man. You're not paying Tyreek Hill the big bucks to block. You know how that goes. But anyways, Mostert takes that little inside step and then cuts this out. That gives Ingold the ability to carry even more momentum. And then you're going to see 33 here at best gets a chance at an arm tackle. Not going to work against Mostert. You know, once he gets his head down, he is a steam train. And, you know, picks up 4 or 5 yards. Not the flashiest play in the world, but Ingold's really good at taking what defenders give him and utilizing the momentum like that to move him out of the, or effectively move him out of the play. Yeah, he still gets a hand in there. Whatever, you know, with the back he has behind him, you know that getting an arm in there isn't going to be enough to do anything. So you live with that, right? Just a solid block, nothing too flashy. Just one I wanted to throw in because I needed a couple extra blocks to pad this video, and this was Ingold doing the right thing, and it went for positive yardage. So, yay. All right, this one's pretty simple. Gonna keep this one short as well. We've got Ingold lined up as a tight end, but that's not going to last. He is going to motion into the backfield and end up as the fullback on this play. And I could not pause there for some reason. What you're going to see immediately, toss play. You got Ingold leading the way here through this gap, trying to be set by the tight end. Jelani Tavai, hell of a run defending linebacker. He's looking beyond the tight end, looking into the backfield, trying to see what's going on. He's trying to get his leverage. Ingold's going to recognize this, and he's going to help out our boy Hill here. Like I said, back to the back, right? Putting his back to the back, that opens up that lane. This combo block takes Tavai out of the play. That's going to allow Jalen Warren to fire up field and pick up a solid gain of, I believe, 12. No, this is a 10-plus yard run. I believe it was a 12-yard run. But again, this is one that isn't super flashy. Does the right thing here. Helps out his boy. And that opens up a very solid hole for the running back to burst through. I've said it before, but one of my favorite things to watch on fullback film is them having to make up for, you know, a teammate missing a block or getting beat on a block, because that's football, right? It happens. You know, not trying to say that I'm preying upon offensive linemen's downfalls so fullbacks get to make up for it, but things happen, right? In the heat of battle, things happen. And this play is going to be a prime example of that. We've got some 21 personnel here, you know, 2 here. Got 1 tight end. I know Tyreek Hill's here, but he's going to motion out. So I guess pre-snap, they're showing 22 personnel, but, you know, Tyreek Hill isn't going to do a whole lot here. So they motion him out, and right there, you see the center get tossed by Daniel Ukuwale. Actually, my mistake, that is Devon Godchow. I see the X here now. See the tiny little X. That is Devon Godchow. Either way, one of the Patriots' big-ass interior defensive linemen is going to toss this center, which leaves Ingold one-on-one. He recognizes this, knows I'm not going to stand up a nose tackle by myself, so I need to do something, and I need to think of something quick. So you see he's already starting to get low, which is exactly how you need to start. Low man wins. That's football. He's going to put the shoulder into Godchow's chest and drive him back. You still see the center is still upright, right? He's not on the ground. He's still upright. So you want to drive Godchow into the center or into this. If you can drive him into this, right's got a clear path. He can pick up a lot of yards. That's exactly what's going to happen. Ingold gets the shoulder down. The center gets himself back up. And now you've got Godchow sandwiched. He's not going anywhere. He is completely sandwiched. And the center honestly does a great job recovering, because now this defender can't get an inside release. And with the way he is walled off, going over the top isn't going to do anything. He's going to be stuck. So this ends up being a really good, like, team effort from Ingold, the center, and whoever this blocker is. I can't see the name or the number. And that is going to allow Jalen Warren to explode through and pick up 17, I think. I know one of these runs went for 17, and then another one went for a little bit over 20. This one might have been the one that went for a little bit over 20, but either way, a big run. 15-plus yard run, very explosive play. And Ingold ends up saving the day with this little bit of a savior block here. You know, one of my favorite, in fact, my favorite Ingold highlight involves him blocking a Patriots interior defensive lineman with Christian Barmore. This is definitely up there for impressive Ingold blocks or well-executed Ingold blocks. Just awesome stuff to set up a really explosive run when you needed it, because the Dolphins were losing at this point in the game. All right, I'd like to preface this one by saying I want us all to remember that football is a game of inches, right? So while a 2-yard run might not seem that significant in the grand scheme of things, it matters. All that to say, in 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end. This play is just me trying to pad out this video a little bit. So, run gets blown up immediately. You got Ingold as the lead blocker. These 2 guys are in hot pursuit. So what's Ingold going to do? He's just going to stand his ground. He plants his feet. You can see here. Feet are planted. He's going to put his shoulder into this defender to allow Mostert to get around and try to do something, right? So when planting his feet and trying to stand his ground, for a moment, he stacks up 2 defenders. He's able to wall these guys off from Mostert, who now has a bit of a lane, right? And you're hoping, you know, in Mostert's mind here, you've got a lane. You're hoping this guy can get over here and take care of Mapu. And in an ideal world, you break this for a solid run. Instead, that doesn't happen. A couple guys get shed. Not Ingold's, man. For the record, not Ingold's. A couple other guys get shed. This is a 2-yard run. But again, when we consider that football is a game of inches, this is an impressive block. You take 2 guys out of a play. 2. Now, sure, you have a little help, right? You have this blanket here from whoever this lineman or tight end is. I think it's a lineman. I don't know. It might be. Yeah, it's a lineman because 89's over here. Anytime Ingold's somewhere, like, kind of being helped from somebody, I'm like, where's 89? Where did 89 mess up and how is Ingold saving it? Joking, but, like, in all seriousness, walls off 2 guys and allows Mostert to pick up positive yardage. It's a net positive. It's a positive run. To the naysayers out there, you know, I got a comment last week talking about Pat Ricard, and I got accused of glazing because I was talking about, like, 4-yard runs. Maybe. You know what? But so what? That's what Fullback Friday is about, right? What is Fullback Friday if not glazing persevering? All right, y'all want to see a linebacker get baptized? Of course you want to see a linebacker get baptized. You're watching fullback film breakdowns. What else are you here for? So, 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end. You're going to run this ball to the left side of your screen here. Ingold as the lead blocker out in space. And right here, Marte Mapu is going to be the object of baptization. It's not a word. But the point being, Ingold is about to send this man to the shadow realm. So he's doing a great job, first and foremost, getting out in front, making a cutback lane for his back here. Now, obviously, you got a linebacker here. You got a couple guys here. That's not Ingold's problem, right? He's here to block very specifically in front of this is Jalen Wright with the ball. I almost forgot about Jalen Wright existing. But he's here to block for Wright. Whatever else happens. That's out of his control. Ingold in this moment has one plan and one plan only, and that is murder. So you see, starts driving Mapu back, had no idea what was coming, and boom. Fucking suplexes him. I mean, look at that. Bottom of the screen right there. That's a beaut. That's a beaut right there. Literally takes him off his feet and suplexes him before they blow the whistle. Trevor Penning, a player for the New Orleans Saints, I can't even jokingly say New Orleans Saints legend, once said that he plays football because he likes to legally assault people. And when you watch plays like this, you start to understand what he meant. Like, yeah, coming from Penning, it's corny because he's not good. But watching people who are actually good at football legally assault people, it will never not be entertaining. And that's a fun Ingold clip right there. All right, another quickie. 21 personnel. Count it. 1, 2, 1 tight end. Gonna get some nice, nifty lead blocking here out in space. Ingold doing what he can. So again, like the block earlier, you see this time 33 here has a much better angle on the tight end. He's got a hand in the chest, which means he's got the power here, and he can shed this at any time. So Ingold is going to do a great job just putting him in the doghouse. Just a quick little push, make sure he's back in line, and then his eyes immediately lock onto 24 here. Ingold's going to do a good job of getting upfield, taking him out of the play, and that opens up a big ol' hole for Jalen Wright to run on through. Now, gets stopped for, like a 20-yard gain. I say stopped. Ends up getting tackled. But Ingold did everything he needed to here. Chip there, take the man out. Perfect stuff. Perfect stuff from Ingold. Short and sweet. All right, quickie here. Ingold lined up a little further out wide this time as a wide receiver. Bring him in motion. He's got to take care of 52 here. If he can take care of 52, there's going to be a lane that's going to open up right here for Raheem Mostert to slip through. What's Ingold going to do? Well, he does a good job. Shoulder and turn. Takes the shoulder and then pivots, turns, walls off the running back. Again, back to the back. He creates a lane for Mostert to run on through. Now, Daniel Ukuwale, the massive human being that he is, does a great job against the lineman there and ends up swallowing this run. So it's not a big gain, not a big run. But Ingold made it so this didn't just get stopped right at the line or behind the line by flipping his back to the back, as I have emphasized. Good understanding of leverage, good understanding of how to take on your opponent at the point of attack, good understanding of spacing. Very simple block, but a lot of good coming from it, showing off a lot of the good traits, the great traits, the damn near elite traits. In fact, I will say elite traits that Alec Ingold possesses. I mean, you talk about the fullback hierarchy of the league. There are 3 men that stand above the rest. Kyle Juszczyk of the 49ers is obviously the top dog. And then number 2, in my opinion, is a fight between Ingold and Ricard, who we talked about last week. And honestly, on any given week, I flip-flop back and forth because I could get into the whole argument here, but basically depends on what you want. Ingold's a little more versatile. He does a little bit more for you on the move and getting out in space and things like that. Ricard is just big and moves people. So depending on the type of run you want, depending on the type of back you're blocking for, you want different things. But, either way, more of a 2A, 2B situation than anything. And Ingold is incredible because of little stuff like this. All right, Miami's rolling now, trying to get the ball in the end zone. We've got Ingold out here. He's going to be brought in motion by Tyler Huntley. And obviously, as the lead blocker, just a lot of the same of what we've been looking at, right? Just clearing out traffic, doing whatever he can. And you can see this linebacker here, his eyes are not focused on this blocker at all. He does not care. Right? You're going to see pretty quickly here, he's got great leverage in this situation. See, arm is in the chest. He's got himself open. He's ready for this running back to come to him and wrap him up. So Ingold knows he's got to get him the fuck out of Dodge so Jalen Wright can come through and have a clean lane. So what's he going to do? He's going to say, boy, get out of here. He's going to throw his whole body into this hit. He's going to say, get your ass out of here. And that's going to open up Jalen Wright. Now, he does get tackled because Ingold ends up trying to dive and take on 2 guys at once, which is unfortunate that he doesn't get to. But, I mean, he does make an impact. Like, 31 has to change his course of direction here and dive instead of being able to cut down and tackle because Ingold's diving at him. So because of that, Jalen Wright's able to kind of break it a little bit and fall forward for some extra yards, picks up an extra 4 or 5 because of that. So again, I know I got accused of glazing last week and I already acknowledged it. Maybe this is a little bit more, but you get that initial hit, knock 52 the fuck out of the play, and you go up here and dive at Jones, which causes him to loop his angle and allows Jalen Wright, who's pretty good at breaking arm tackles, to break an arm tackle before eventually getting brought down at like the 3. That's some shift. That's some nifty work, right? Now, if you want to nitpick, you could say, well, maybe instead of throwing everything into 52, you just chip him and then move up and then you got a touchdown. To people who point that out, I say, fuck you, right? You're lame. If you don't want to see a fullback throw his all into an opposing linebacker, you don't love football, point blank period. And plus, if you watch the Miami game, you know what Jalen Wright getting stopped here at like the 3 ended up resulting in. And that is this beauty of a play right here. Got 21 personnel, 1 running back, 1 fullback, tight end. Oh, you got 22 because they're hiding Tyreek back here. It's funny. Going into this play, I was going to make fun of them for not being able to hide Tyreek Hill. Like, this is so silly. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Tyreek look small, like you can hide him. It's not fooling anybody. And then it fooled me when I was trying to identify the personnel grouping. So you got 22 personnel, if you want to be technical. But this one, I don't have to break it down, I don't think. Take Tyreek in motion, hand this to Ingold, and then he's just going to put his head down and run his way in. Gets himself a touchdown. Always feels good to see your fullback score. Ingold got a touchdown this past week. Juszczyk got a touchdown last night. The fullbacks are eating over the past 7 days. They have been eating. And hopefully Sunday will bring us some more fullback touchdowns. And one more for the road, because this one is kind of glazing. I'll keep it brief. 21 personnel, 1 tight end, 2 backs. Ingold's just going to have the most nonchalant lead block ever here. So he gets charged with chipping. I believe that's Keon White up there, judging by the sleeves and the large stature. So he's just going to very nonchalantly chip him. He just runs in front of him and says, hey, buddy, here's my shoulder. Keon's like, man. Because the game's over, right? There's 40 seconds left on the clock at this point. They're trying to chew it out. Just trying to end this game. They got their turnover. So you get this nonchalant block that lets Raheem Mostert pick up 5. He's able to keep his legs churning. Everyone's moving a little slower to milk that clock a little bit. Just such a chill, nonchalant block that I wanted to throw in because I can. That's why I wanted to throw it in. Because I can. All right, I hope you all enjoyed that Alec Ingold film breakdown. Now we're going to talk just a quick minute about his impact and how important of a player he is for Miami going forward and how important he has been. Because we know right now Miami's kind of struggling to find an offensive identity. They lose Tua. The pass game isn't nearly as good. No disrespect to Tyler Huntley, but he's just not as good as Tua, and that is definitely hurting their pass game. So because of that, I really think the Dolphins need to lean on this run game. You have talented ball carriers. I know Devon Achane just went down, but Raheem Mostert's great. Jalen Wright has shown a lot of potential early on. Jeff Wilson is a more than capable ball carrier, and Alec Ingold can pick up the tough yards between the tackles as well. You have a lot of guys on this team that can run the ball, and even if you're not running the ball traditionally, pitch plays to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and things like that, you have a lot of guys that you can just get the ball to quickly, and Alec Ingold helps that so much. His impact as a blocker really cannot be overstated. He's one of the few fullbacks that actually does get credit for his work, but it's still not nearly enough. And I think this Patriots game is a prime example of that. And if you're not a film guy, you want to see cold, hard numbers, right? I got them for you. According to Next Gen Stats, the Dolphins had 160 yards on 31 designed runs with Alec Ingold on the field. That's good for 5.2 yards per carry. With Ingold off the field, they had 26 yards on 8 carries, good for only 3.3 yards per carry. That is a 2-yard difference between having Ingold on or off the field. And as we talked about in this video, football is a game of inches. Those 2 yards matter a lot. So getting him on the field, running the ball behind him, or even, using him as a decoy, right? There's a lot of plays. I don't show these type of plays because they're not as fun to break down, but there are a lot of plays where teams will put a fullback on the field and they'll send them one way and then run the ball the opposite direction. and they use it to trip up linebackers or defensive linemen or whoever, and it works. They do a lot of that with Ingold. San Francisco does a lot of that with Kyle Juszczyk. The Ravens do a lot of that with Pat Ricard. It's a normal thing, and the Dolphins did some of that in this game. Additionally, when you have so many talented ball carriers, having a guy that can just get out in space and block for them, whether it's in the run game or in the pass game, we didn't see it this week, but in the past, we've seen Alec Ingold go out as a lead blocker on screens for Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, and he sprang big plays for them. Ingold is really, really important to this offense. And now that Tua's gone, like I said, you need to lean on the run game. Ingold is becoming even more important. The Dolphins used 21 personnel on a season-high 36 snaps. 48% of their offensive plays ran out of 21 personnel, which is why the Dolphins need to lean on him a little bit, and I do think he is the key to unlocking their offense without Tua.
Had a chance on the throwback. This was an ill-advised throw. What an unbelievable catch by Cole Kmet. And he cups it too. No movement when he hits the ground, tucked up against his shoulder.
Wow. Using that